welcome to another battle on WOT tactics. This time we're on the German Tier 5 heavy tank, the VK3001H. It's actually not a bad tank as a heavy tank. I mean, its main drawback is the fact that the armour is a little bit thin, with just 50mm all round, and just a little bit more on top of the turret, in front of the turret. The good thing about this tank though is the gun. The gun is a Waffe 0725, which basically has very high penetration for its tier. I mean, we're talking about average penetration of around 156mm, which actually goes up to way above that when using gold ammunition. In fact, we can just check that there. There you go, 157 for standard and 221 for gold. On this map, it's common for all heavy tanks to go to the city. It is, however, a low tier map. I'm actually top tier in this tank, which is a good thing. It doesn't happen very often. So there's not that many heavy tanks. And at the same time, as you can see, I'm kind of keeping a bit of a low profile to begin with. Why am I doing that? Because, as I said, the armour on the VK3001 is not that good, and so it really works better staying a little bit behind. At the same time, I'm a little bit concerned by this heavy tank here, which is a T14. So I just want to make sure that there is enough enough allies on that side, and they're going to take care of him. And you can see from my turret that I keep looking that way, as if to kind of sort of just keep an eye on there and see what happens. There's also a lot of our allies down the city. In fact, too many of them, I think. And then I realized there's 2 enemy tanks there, a heavy tank there, and the rest of the enemies are there. So what's the point of me going into the city? Not much. Let's just go on top of this ridge and see if we can do a bit of sniping, because it's not looking very good. We've only got 1 allied tank destroyer guarding the base.
Penetration.
So let's get rid of this one if we can.
Penetration. Enemy on fire.
Good thing about this gun is that it's very accurate, apart from that instance, and I can't depress it too much.
Ready to fire.
And got
They're
it.
knocked out.
Okay, we're even, but still it's not the end of the danger, because there's that T14 on top of that hill, and I'm really hoping that the tank destroyer will spot it. I then realize that the danger is too big. Oh my god, now a KV-1 appears on that side. Let me see if I can snipe it from the side. Yeah, perfect.
Enemy is hit.
Come on.
Enemy armor is damaged.
That's actually quite easy, because it's not doing anything. Typical KV-1. I get this. I get his tracks, which is perfect, and then they destroy him. Great. Okay, we're a bit even now, almost. The thing is that T41 is still there. You can see there on the mini-map. It's still there in that area. I mean, at least that was the last position. So, and what's going on? My allies are abandoning the base. Right. Well, I'm sorry, but that's a bit coward. But anyway, what it means is that I've got to go back and defend the base. It's completely undefended, and there's a T14 very near it. So they run away, I run to it. Okay, fair enough. I'm a heavy tank and I've got full health. So let's go and face this T14. Hoping that the rest of the team down by the city are not going to make a big mess of it. Let's see how I deal with this one. He's obviously spotted me.
That one bounced. Target acquired.
Okay, 1 bounce each, so we're even. I've acquired I've done auto aim because I intend to kind of do a bit of movement and try and attack him, because my armor isn't very good. I'm gonna try and play more on speed rather than sheer armor. Okay,
Penetration.
good gun. Didn't hit me.
Enemy armor is hit.
I'm winning because I'm dealing more damage and I'm taking none. So that's nearly done. And then what does it do? Mistake. Oh yeah.
Enemy armor is destroyed.
That was his undoing. Let me just show that to you again.
Enemy armor is damaged.
Let's just slow that down. That was his mistake. He put his turret through that window. He probably thought that I wasn't going to penetrate it. He obviously doesn't know the VK3001 very much. My gun can penetrate pretty much anything, really. And basically, it was easy for me to just get it. It's also extremely accurate, so from this distance, there's no mistake. I'm going to hit it exactly where I want, and I'm going to destroy it. Let's just see. This is in slow motion.
Gotcha.
There you go. Okay, I enjoyed that. But the battle isn't over yet. And what's going on here? We've got a Churchill, a priest, which is a hard SPG to take down because he's got good armour, and a Panzer 3A, which seems to be pretty good because he's actually already scored 2 kills. So it's not a bad tank. So what I do here is try and go down and help that Churchill. Sorry, help our BDR against that Churchill. Problem is that Churchill is now taking out the BDR, so it's basically just me and the grill. Now that's not fun, because the Churchill has got very strong armour, and having a light tank to help him, they could both attack me at the same time, circle me, and I'm dead. I don't know why the artillery stays close to me. It's not a good idea at all. You're not going to be much use being so close to me. You've got to stay a little bit further away so that you can destroy them when I actually do spot them. Being close to me does not help me, especially when you're an artillery. And I tell him in the chat, and that's the reason why you see me kind of stopping there, because in the chat I'm actually telling this SPG, don't stay too close to me. And what happens? He actually spots the Churchill. Oh, that was unlucky. Why is the artillery standing there?
Penetration.
Why? Just go away. Go away.
Tracks is damaged. Enemy armor is hit.
And they got him.
Enemy armor is damaged.
Come on, one more.
We didn't even scratch them.
That was unlucky. And then they're not spotted anymore. Right, okay. That's really bad. I'm alone against 3 enemies. That's not a good thing to be. Now, before I move on, let me just tell you one thing. There you go. That was it. The artillery. We don't want to be too much of an easy prey for artillery. So let's stay close to buildings. I expect the artillery to be on the western side of the map. I expect it to be either at base or around there. In fact, where was the last position? There, you can see it. Sort of here. So we've got to make sure that we keep the houses to our right hand side so that it's more difficult for the artillery to get us. The next thing I gotta do is kind of stay there and hoping that it is the enemy that makes a move and I spot him. It doesn't make a move, and I also think that I get more protection from the brick buildings rather than from the wooden buildings, because they are indestructible. And suddenly, oh my god, Churchill is right there. The good news about this is, and I'll just stop there a minute, is that he's only got 71 HP, which basically means 1 shot. All I need is 1 shot from my gun. I've also, as you can see, selected gold, so that I'm absolutely sure of penetrating, no bounces. Damage 135, he's only got 71. If I use gold and I hit it, he's dead. No question. So I've got full health. What can I do here? Very simple, just go for it. Even if he hits me once, so long as I don't get hit in the ammo rack, which is obviously a possibility, and I die instantly, but it's a remote possibility, all I have to do is just get a clear shot and kill it. Even if I lose a little bit of HP, it doesn't matter, because the main thing right now is to get rid of this heavy tank, which is the main threat for my progression into the game, and then after that deal with the rest of them, which basically is purely a light tank and a heavy and an SPG from tier 3. So really no problems for me there. So let's just see how this pans out. All I have to do is just 1 shot. So just do a bit of movement, just to see if I can bait him to come out. He doesn't come out. Okay, so I'm gonna have to go for it. See, I'm trying to bait him there. He doesn't move. So, okay, fine. One shot, that's all I need.
They're knocked out.
And the good thing is, I didn't even get hit. And I also managed to avoid a hit by the artillery. So this looks very, very, very well. I must admit, that actually in the chat, you don't see it now, but during the battle, I guarantee you, there was somebody who called me a noob. Yeah? Okay, let's see what kind of a noob I am. So, I destroyed 3, and I've got the base being captured. I would guess that it is the Panzer 3A capturing base. He's obviously never been spotted throughout the game, so he's a good player. And he's also killed 3 of our allies, so he's not a bad player at all. But I'm sorry, it's just a Panzer 3A, and I'm a heavy tank from 2 tiers above with a devastating gun, not so much in terms of damage, but rather in terms of penetration. So I will penetrate his armor, no doubt, from whatever angle I shoot. So the one thing to do, and I'm going to pause again, is to remember the fact that there is still an artillery at play. So what do I have to do? I have to keep moving. Whatever I do in trying to take down this tank, I've got to keep moving, or find hard cover like a building to shield me from the artillery. So it's very important that I keep moving. And there he is.
Enemy is hit.
One hit. You see, I just keep moving, no stopping, and then all I need is to spot him once more. He's obviously left the circle. And there he is, and he wasn't even looking my way. Okay, do you see the benefit of keeping moving? The artillery would have got me. If only I'd stopped where I shot that tank, if only I stood there for a couple of seconds, 2-3 seconds, I would be possibly dead. And then, he's even closer than I thought. Okay, fair enough. And done. Okay, so that was a very good battle. High caliber, 5 kills. And I basically won the game without getting really much damage. Thank you for watching.